Hello and welcome to all students. I am Mr. Puva and today I am going to teach you English paper 1. There are a lot of different types of questions in English paper 1, but today we are going to emphasize on question number 2, which is social expression. I am very sure that you are very familiar with these type of questions because you have done a lot of homeworks back in school and back at your home. But this is supposed to be one of the easiest questions for us to score. But why we are not doing so? Because even though it is easy, at the same time it is tricky as well. There are few steps on how to answer social expressions. Before we move on to those steps, let us first look the things which we should avoid in doing social expressions. Number 1, make sure you don't do any grammatical errors. Number 2, make sure there are no punctuation errors in your response, because most of the students are losing marks not because of their answers but because of their punctuation errors. Number 3, make sure you don't do any spelling errors. Go for common words. Don't try to write the words that you yourself don't know the meaning or the spelling. And finally, make sure your answers are in a complete sentence. Okay students, why I'm asking you to avoid these 4? Because if you make any of these, you will be penalized and you will be losing marks. For each mistake, you will be penalized and in the end, you won't be end up with any marks. Okay? There are altogether 4 steps on how to do social expression effectively. In this video, we're going to cover step 1 and step 2. Okay? Now, let's move on to step 1. Okay, as you can see, step 1 is about identifying the first speaker and the second speaker in the stimuli. Now, why is it necessary to identify the first speaker and the second speaker? Because first speaker and the second speaker shows the turns of speaking. If you got it wrong, then most probably your answer is wrong. Okay? Now, how to identify the first speaker and the second speaker? I have given you an example of social expression here, as you can see. Now I am very sure that you know that you can draw better than me, so please pardon my drawing skills. Okay, as you can see, these two are what we call speech bubble. This is very important because this is what going to help us to determine the first speaker and the second speaker. Now, let's take a closer look on the position of the speech bubbles, because as you can see, the male's speech bubble is on top. The female's speech bubble is a bit lower. Now, this is the indication for the first speaker and the second speaker. For the male speaker, which is on top, normally first speaker. For the female, which is in the lower, is the second speaker. This is how we determine the first speaker and the second speaker in social expression. We follow the position of speech bubble. If it's on top, it's first speaker. If it's a bit lower, it's the second speaker. This is quite easy because anyone can do this. Okay? Okay. Now, let's move on to step number 2. Step number 2 is very important because this is what we need to generate ideas for our response. We need a layout. What are the layout? 3 simple things. W.A.W. Who, about, and where. Who helps us to determine the nouns or the persons in the stimuli. Is it father and mother? Is it teacher and student? Is it friends? Is it cousins? It will be very helpful to us. Number 2, about. What are they talking about? Are they talking about an object? Are they talking about a verb? Are they talking about food? And finally, where, which refers to place. Place will help us to create a lot of creative ideas based on the given stimuli. So, if we manage to do these 3 and lay out, we can generate a lot of possible responses which can be used to write in as answers. Okay students, so far we have covered step 1 and step 2. As for step 3 and step 4, we will continue on the next video. If you have any questions or doubts, please don't forget to comment on the comment box below. Thank you.